Well, hey guys, and welcome back to another recent viewing video. And today I am going to be talking about a movie that I watched while I had no internet access today. So it's sad that I have to be cut off from the internet before I'll sit down and watch movies anymore, but today I'm glad that I did. Because I watched a movie called Aloha. A new movie out by Cameron Crowe, the director of Jerry Maguire, and I don't think there's anything else on here listed as to what he's... Oh, Almost Famous. I keep forgetting about that. Jerry Maguire is a movie that I absolutely loved. I saw it in theaters back in the 90s and really enjoyed it. And of course, it's probably one of the first movies I remember in my life that was super quotable. For me, like, I actually watched it, heard the quotes, and then went crazy and quoted it all over the place. I really, really enjoyed it with Tom Cruise and Renee Zellweger and Cuba Gooding Jr. Where'd that guy go? Almost Famous I never saw. I remember seeing previews for it. I remember when it came out. It just didn't do anything for me. So maybe one of these days I'll watch it. But for right now, it's not high on any kind of a list for me. But this movie, when it came out in theaters and it was being previewed on TV and stuff, I thought, well, this is kind of cool. I like this cast: Bradley Cooper, Rachel McAdams, got Bill Murray, Emma Stone, John Krasinski, Alec Baldwin, Danny McBride. Although he's not on screen for very, very long, it's kind of sad because his haircut and stuff was pretty drastic from what I'm used to seeing him with. But anyway, when I saw the previews for it, I was like, wow, look at this cast. The movie doesn't look too bizarre or out there or plain or overly dramatic or overly romantic or anything like that. It looked like it had a little bit of everything. And all I could really determine from it was there was some sort of a military theme to it. And I don't know, I was just kind of into it. I was like, yeah, I think I might want to check this out. I wasn't planning on seeing it in the theater, but when it came out for sale, I was like, there's that movie. And I just kept looking at it at work for a couple of days before I bought it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to give this a try. Cameron Crowe from Jerry Maguire, all this group here. It's like, it's got to be worth something, and especially for the movie, wasn't all that expensive. Getting a pretty decent number of Blu-rays coming through my store for like $18 or less, new release. So I like that over the $25 ones. So anyway, like I said, I finally cracked it open today when I didn't have internet access to pull me to YouTube, and I watched it this morning, and I really, really liked it. Now, it started off a little funky. And this maybe because a friend of mine at work had said something along the lines of he didn't think that the movie was getting really good reviews. And I was like, uh-oh, that kind of sucks, because I had already purchased it at that time. And yet I didn't want to just return it because somebody had said maybe there were some bad reviews. So I just went ahead and, jumped into it today and kind of held on for dear life, hoping that it wasn't a bad purchase. But it wasn't. Like I said, it started off a little weird. Some of especially the way that Emma Stone's character was introduced, she was just, oh my God, I was like, this is going to be the worst thing I've ever seen Emma Stone do. She's going to be such a bizarre character. It was just like the strange zoom-in shots on her as she was putting on sunglasses. I thought, oh, this is corny as hell. Everybody else so far had been, just handled normally. It was really weird the way that they jumped in on her. And she is a quirky character, for sure. She's unusual and almost seems like the least likely person in this whole movie to exist in real life. But by the end of the movie, she was, I don't know, just as much as a person I would want to get to know as anybody else in the cast. And it had a very interesting story about relationships and former relationships and fatherhood and love and doing the right thing, having morals. not being morally bankrupt in the face of money and power and all this kind of stuff, and it all centered around Hawaii, and a lot of a lot of what I assumed to be real life, religious practices or mythical feelings, or I don't even know what to say, but of the Hawaiian culture, including, I guess, having the actual king of the nation of Hawaii. It made me very curious, since I didn't have my internet at the time. I couldn't go and look it up, but it made me really curious as to how Hawaii feels about being a part of the U.S. from when they were first made as a state up until today. Like, the movie kind of gave me the idea that they weren't that enthused, like the natives to Hawaii weren't that enthused to be a state. And I guess I could kind of see that now, as much of a tourist attraction as it is, and I'm sure it brings a lot of money. Those kind of things bring a lot of problems and issues too. But I don't want to speak about something that I really don't know about. But it made me very curious about it, because the gentleman in the movie who was called Uncle Bumpy, and who was being addressed as the king of the nation of Hawaii, was the actual guy. In the credits it said that's who he was. He was playing himself. So very interesting. I guess it just adds a little flavor into the movie, something extra for people to be interested in. And I'm just going to go right on the record as saying, and I'll talk about maybe the whys behind this at another time, but the ending of the movie actually made me tear up. It has to do with the main character and a discovery about his world, something new in his world. Like, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I really think that this is a movie that people should check out. It's funny, but it's dramatic, it's romantic, it's got a little bit of everything in it, and it made this guy tear up at the end of it. So I don't know. I thought it was really, really good. All of the fear that I had that it was going to be bad was gone 20 or 30 minutes into the movie, and by the end of it I was like, yeah, this is pretty freaking awesome. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Aloha by Cameron Crowe. Definitely check this one out if you like any of the kind of stuff I mentioned. If you want something that's got some romance, some comedy, some drama, some definitely quotable lines. Cameron Crowe must write with that in mind, of coming up with lines and stuff that people would want to quote or would remember a scene because so-and-so said this or that. This movie is definitely filled with that. So yeah, check it out. I liked it. Thought it was pretty awesome. All right, talk to you guys another time.